Picture this. There are 25 towns in America right now where you can buy an actual house for less than a new Chevy Silverado. And behind every shockingly low price tag is a catch nobody's advertising. But the real question is, if affordable housing is hiding in plain sight, why aren't people flooding in? Spoiler, nobody tells the full story until now. Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the cheese is sharp, the football is sacred, and winter is less a season than a survival test. Median home price, $277,500. That's a 3-bedroom for about what you'd pay for a tricked-out pickup. Plus, here, the Packers are basically a religion. Locals will shovel out the stadium for free if it means a shot at tickets. But before you start packing your snow boots and foam cheese hat, let's talk weather. Green Bay averages 55.6 inches of snow a year. That's enough to make your snowblower a family heirloom. The upside? Summers are pure Midwest magic, and there's a brewery for every frostbitten finger. Now, Kansas City, Missouri. Median home price, $251,600. KC is where barbecue isn't just food, it's a blood sport. Sauce versus dry rub debates get more heated than the Chiefs' tailgate lot in September. The city's got jazz, fountains, and more burnt ends than most grocery stores see in a decade. But there's a catch. Property crime rate hovers at about 1 in 20. Yeah, you heard right. That's double the national average, with car break-ins and porch pirates keeping locksmiths in business. The job market's steady, cost of living is low, but you'll want to keep your brisket and in your Camry under lock and key. Both towns come with their own flavor of trade-off. In Green Bay, you're signing up for frozen eyelashes and a calendar built around football. In Kansas City, it's world-class ribs and a side of neighborhood watch. The savings are real, but so are the quirks. So which would you rather, dig out your driveway until April or check your Ring doorbell every time Amazon drops a package? Welcome to the Midwest, where the prices are low and the local color is always vivid. Little Rock, Arkansas. Median home price, $250,000. The city where you can go from sweating through your shirt to shivering in your boots before you finish your morning coffee. Locals say if you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. Seriously, it's the only place where your umbrella and sunscreen fight for pocket space. Humidity? Think of it as a free sauna with every mortgage. But don't let the forecast fool you. Little Rock's got a laid-back charm, a riverfront that's actually walkable, and a food scene that makes up for the meteorological mood swings. Retirees love the slow pace and the fact that you can still get a decent steak without selling a kidney. Now, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Median home price, $249,000. Oil money, Route 66 nostalgia, and more Art Deco buildings than Miami Beach. The city wears its architectural pride like a rhinestone bolo tie, loud, a little flashy, and unapologetically local. But here's the catch. Tulsa's economy runs on crude prices, so when oil sneezes, half the city catches a cold. The job market feels like a roller coaster, steady one year, white knuckle the next. Weather-wise, it's tornado country. Sirens are just background noise, and every spring brings a new round of "is this the big one?" office bets. Both towns serve up bargain houses, but there's always a trade-off. In Little Rock, your air conditioner becomes a family member. In Tulsa, your job security might depend on OPEC's mood swings. The formula's holding, lower price, sharper caveat. And if you think you've seen Midwest quirks, buckle up. We're just getting to the good stuff. St. Louis, Missouri. Median home price, $247,000. Here, there's a secret handshake, and it's not what you think. It's the high school question. Doesn't matter if you're 60 or just moved in last month. Someone will size you up with, "So where'd you go to high school?" Locals swear it's not snobbery, just a fast way to decode your entire backstory. Catholic or public, city or county, blue collar or country club. One question, all the answers. It's the Midwest's version of a background check. Oklahoma City, $242,800. This is where tornado sirens are basically the city's theme song. Spring rolls in and nobody blinks when the sky turns green and the sirens start wailing. Instead of hiding in the basement, half the neighborhood is out on the porch, phone in hand, raiding funnel clouds like they're Olympic divers. Tornado insurance isn't just a footnote, it's a whole line item in your budget, And yes, there's a Facebook group for sharing hailstone sizes. Lubbock, Texas. Median price, $240,000. College town, cotton country, and home to more Texas Tech red than a ketchup factory. Out here, Friday night lights mean high school football is king, and Buddy Holly nostalgia is a close second. But don't expect big city buzz. Lubbock's social scene runs on tailgates, church potlucks, and the occasional dust storm. Isolation comes standard. Nearest big city is hours away, so you better like your neighbors, because you'll see them at every game and every grocery run. In these towns, the price drop is real, but so are the rituals. Whether you're decoding St. Louis social hierarchies, budgeting for Twister season in OKC, or embracing Lubbock's football fever, the culture's as thick as the humidity before a storm. Welcome to the Midwest, where the handshake comes with a weather warning and the small talk can save your roof. To Amoynism, Iowa. Median home price, $220,000. Around here, the Iowa State Fair isn't just an event, it's a personality trait. 11 days every August, the city transforms into a fried food Olympics. Butter sculptures, pork chops on sticks, and enough livestock to make you question your career choices. Locals will grumble about the crowds, the parking, and the smell, but miss a year and you'll get side-eyed at Hy-Vee. The fair draws over 1 million people, and yes, you'll see more deep-fried innovation than in a state-of-the-art lab. Underneath the corn dog grease, Des Moines is steady. Insurance jobs, a low-key pace, and winters that'll have you scraping ice off your mustache. Springfield, Missouri. Median home price, $205,000. This is the cashew chicken capital of the universe. Don't argue, they'll prove it with a takeout menu. David Leong's invention is local gospel. Fried chicken chunks, brown gravy, a blizzard of cashews. It's on every corner, in every strip mall, and in more family stories than Grandma's Jell-O mold. Springfield's got the Ozarks, a college town vibe, and a pace that lets you finish your coffee before noon. The trade-off? Humidity that could curl a bowling ball and a job market that's more slow cooker than microwave. Amarillo, Texas. Median home price, $201,700. Welcome to the windiest city in America. Seriously, the breeze here could knock over a longhorn. Amarillo's claim to fame is Cadillac Ranch. 10 classic cars buried nose first in the dirt, spray-painted by generations of road trippers and bored teenagers. Route 66, nostalgia runs deep, and the sunsets look like a Bob Ross fever dream. But the wind? It's relentless. Locals joke their trash cans have better travel stories than most people. Cheap homes, endless sky, and a forecast that's mostly tumbleweeds and sideways rain. The price is right, but your hair will never be. 3 towns, 3 flavors of comfort. State fair madness, legendary takeout, and roadside art you can tag yourself. The homes are cheap, the quirks are strong, and if you can handle the wind or the gravy, you'll fit right in. Wichita, Kansas. Median home price, $201,500. Here, the sky's so wide you can see your future, and if you're lucky, it's got a pension and a porch swing. Wichita calls itself the air capital of the world, and they mean it. Boeing, Spirit Aerosystems, and Textron Aviation keep the city humming, with more than 1 in 10 jobs tied to aerospace. It's the kind of place where your neighbor might build jet engines by day and mow your lawn by night. Steady factory work means paychecks come in on time, and there's a certain comfort in knowing your city's main export is still flying high at 30,000 feet. But every city's got its signature scent. Slide north to Sioux City, Iowa. Median home price, $198,700, and you'll know you've arrived before you hit the city limits. That's not your imagination. It's the perfume of prosperity, otherwise known as bacon. Sioux City's meatpacking plants are the economic backbone, and yes, sometimes the air smells like breakfast. Locals swear you get used to it. Some even claim it's why the coffee tastes better. The upside? Jobs are steady, and the cost of living is low enough that you can afford to buy a house and still have change left over for a new grill. So you've got a choice: Wichita's steady hum of jet engines or Sioux City's perpetual bacon breeze. Both towns offer blue-collar stability and homes priced like they're stuck in 2008. But there's always a trade-off. In Wichita, your dinner conversation might revolve around wing rivets and flight schedules. In Sioux City, don't bother lighting scented candles. The local aroma wins every time. The Midwest delivers again. Solid paychecks, quirky local pride, and a cost of living that won't send you scrambling for a side hustle. Davenport, Iowa. Median home price, $186,800. Here, the Mississippi River isn't just scenery. It's a neighbor with boundary issues. Locals keep boots by the door and sandbags in the garage because every few years the river decides to visit Main Street. The 2019 flood crested at 22.7 feet, turning downtown into a kayak course and making flood insurance less a suggestion, more a survival tool. But ask anyone in town and you'll hear the same joke. They don't build flood walls, they build character. Waterloo, Iowa. Median home price, $185,000. This is deer country where John Deere isn't just a brand, it's a birthright. 1 in 10 jobs ties back to the big green tractor, and the annual John Deere Tractor Parade is basically a rolling job fair. The upside? Steady paychecks and a cost of living low enough that you can buy a house and still afford a new riding mower. The catch? Single-employer towns come with a built-in gamble. If Deere ever sneezes, the whole city catches a cold. And don't get too attached to the property tax savings. Most Iowans pay nearly 1.5% of home value every year, which adds up faster than you'd think. Evansville, Indiana. Median home price, $172,500. Sitting pretty on the Ohio River, Evansville's claim to fame is its riverboat casino scene. If you like your nightlife with a side of penny slots and prime rib buffets, this is your spot. The riverfront is lively, the pace is slow, and retirees can stretch $1 from blackjack to breakfast. But there's a trade-off. The job market leans heavy on a handful of big employers, and the city's infrastructure is showing its age. Think potholes, water main breaks, and the occasional boil advisory. In Evansville, you can buy a home for less than a new SUV, but you might want to keep a little extra stashed for the next roof leak or sewer hiccup. 3 towns, 3 river stories, cheap homes, steady jobs, if the river stays put and the factories keep humming. But here, Mother Nature and the job market both like to roll the dice. Welcome to the Midwest's floodplain, where resilience is a lifestyle and every homeowner has a weather app on speed dial. Topeka, Kansas. Median home price, $169,500. Here, the potholes are less a nuisance and more a rite of passage. The city's road repair budget is stretched thinner than a gas station burrito, so every spring brings a new round of Guess the Crater on your morning commute. Local legend says if you can drive across town without spilling your coffee, you're officially a toe pecan. But the trade-off? Property taxes are manageable, and the pace is slow enough that nobody's judging your rusty pickup or your questionable parallel parking skills. Next stop? Lansing, Michigan. Median home price, $150,000. This is where GM family trees run deeper than the Red Cedar River. Chances are your neighbor's uncle's cousin built the car you're driving, or at least installed the rearview mirror. The auto industry isn't what it was in the boom years, but the city's still dotted with union halls and shift change traffic jams. The job market's steady if you're in healthcare or government, but factory work isn't the golden ticket it used to be. On the upside, the cost of living means you can actually afford a garage big enough for your classic Buick and your snowblower. And then there's Akron, Ohio. Median home price, $147,800. Once the rubber capital of the world, now it's the place where tires and polymers quietly keep the lights on. The Goodyear blimp is practically a local mascot, and every third person you meet has a story about back when Firestone still had a plant here. These days, the city's pivoted to high-tech polymers and medical research, but the blue-collar roots run deep. The air might not smell like fresh rubber anymore, but there's still a certain pride in knowing your town helped put America on wheels. Homes are cheap, neighborhoods are tight-knit, and if you're looking for a place where your work boots won't raise eyebrows at the grocery store, Akron's got you covered. 3 towns, 3 flavors of infrastructure roulette. In Topeka, your shocks and struts get a workout. In Lansing, your family tree might double as a GM org chart. In Akron, the rubber hits the road, literally. The price tags are dropping, but so are the guarantees. Next up, where the crime stats start to outpace the home values. Memphis, Tennessee. Median home price, $145,000. The city where the blues are more than a music genre, they're a survival strategy. Welcome to the land of barbecue Beale Street and the world's most intense Elvis tourism economy. On paper, it's a steal, but every deal comes with its own fine print, and here it's written in police reports. Violent crime rate? 1,901 per 100,000 residents. That's not a typo, that's the third highest in the country. In 2019 alone, Memphis logged 190 murders. The city's crime map looks like a Jackson Pollock painting, colorful, chaotic, and, frankly, a little unnerving. Locals have learned to navigate it with a mix of street smarts and gallows humor. You'll see Graceland tour buses rolling past neighborhoods where porch lights double as security systems. Tourists come for Elvis, but residents know the real king is caution. The divide is so sharp you can spot it by the eye rolls every time someone asks for directions to Sun Studio. There's a reason Memphis has more home security companies than gas stations. People here know the price of admission isn't just the mortgage, it's learning which blocks to avoid after dark. But for those willing to play the odds, Memphis offers a city with soul, a cost of living that won't eat your retirement, and enough live music to drown out the sirens. The homes are cheap, the food is legendary, and the culture is thick as molasses. Just remember, in Memphis, you don't just buy a house. You buy into a daily game of risk management, ready to keep rolling the dice? The next stop on this countdown takes the affordability gamble to a whole new level. Jackson, Mississippi. Home price, $135,500. The sticker shock comes later when the water bill lands. After the 2022 meltdown left faucets dry and patients even drier, federal cash kept the taps flowing until it didn't. Now the average bill up nearly $18 a month since the crisis, sitting at about $85. That's a 27% jump, with more likely on the way. And if you're paying, you're basically covering your neighbor's tab too. 14,000 accounts get water but don't pay a dime. The city loses $3 million a month just trying to keep the lights on. In Jackson, the price per square foot is low, but so is the trust in what comes out of the tap. Peoria, Illinois. $130,400 gets you the keys, but you might be the first to know if a new soda flavor is about to flop. This is America's favorite test market. If it's weird, fizzy, or cheese-filled, you'll taste it first. But don't expect to keep secrets from the neighbors. The city's size makes it just big enough for corporate experiments, just small enough for everyone to know who's buying the new pumpkin spice cola. Cleveland, Ohio. Median home, $128,000. Here, you can buy a land bank lot for $200 as long as you promise to mow it and not turn it into a tire fire. Want a full lot? In the right neighborhood, it's 70 cents a square foot. But the fine print is a novella. Renovation budgets can balloon from $60,000 to $160,000 before you hang your first curtain. Side yard deals come with more strings than a puppet show, and if you miss a performance, the city takes the stage back. And yes, this is the place where the river once caught fire. In Cleveland, the deals are real, but so are the hoops, and sometimes so is the smoke. These towns drop you into the five-figure zone, but the price tag is just the opening act. Infrastructure roulette means you might hit the jackpot or get billed for the next round of repairs. Welcome to the underbelly of cheap, where the utility math and fine print can make a bargain feel like a scratch-off ticket. Sometimes you win, sometimes you just get wet. Youngstown, Ohio. Median home price, $112,500. Once, this was steel country. Molten rivers, midnight shifts, and paychecks that built neighborhoods. Then, the mills closed, and the city lost nearly 2/3 of its people. The skyline didn't change, but everything else did. Now you can buy a 3-bedroom for less than the cost of a new Harley. But don't expect bustling block parties. Some neighborhoods feel like they're auditioning for a post-apocalypse movie, complete with boarded-up windows and a soundtrack of distant freight trains. Locals joke that Youngstown is the only place where the phrase good bones means both the house and the raccoons living in the attic. Then comes Detroit, Michigan. Median home price, $80,700. Yes, Motor City. Here, the American dream hit a pothole the size of a Buick. Detroit lost more than 40% of its population since the 1970s. Bankruptcy in 2013, then a slow, stubborn climb back. These days, the city's got a credit rating that's finally out of the basement and neighborhoods where you can still buy a house for the price of a used riding mower. The joke here isn't just that your mortgage is cheaper than your car note, it's that your new roommate might have opposable thumbs and a taste for garbage night. But under the surface, something's shifting. Detroit's seen home prices jump 72% since 2020. Black homeowners gained nearly $3 billion in real estate wealth over 8 years. There's a sense that maybe the worst is over. Still, in both cities, the scars run deep. Empty lots outnumber playgrounds. The neighbors who stuck around, they're rebuilding one block at a time. If you're looking for a deal, you'll find it here, but you'll also need grit, patience, and maybe a good raccoon eviction service. Ready to roll the dice where steel ghosts linger and the Motor City hums back to life? Flint, Michigan. Home of the $64,600 house and the $600 million question, can you ever really put a price on trust? Here, the real estate listings look like typos. 3 bedrooms, a yard, and a mortgage that's less than your last used car. But there's a catch, and it comes with a twist of irony so strong it should be bottled. In Flint, BYOB means bring your own bottle, of water that is. Residents have been living the bottled water lifestyle since 2014, when the city's infamous switch to river water left thousands exposed to lead. Fast forward nearly a decade, and the scars are still visible. 11,000 lead pipes replaced, another 28,000 checked and cleared, but most folks still trust a case of Deer Park over what comes out of the tap. The city keeps handing out free filters and water test kits just in case. Meanwhile, a $600 million settlement hangs in the air, with 26,000 people waiting to see how much their pain is worth. The population's dropped by nearly 20% since the crisis, and the water bill math keeps getting weirder as fewer people shoulder the cost. Flint's bargain basement prices are real, but so is the cost of living with one eye on your faucet and the other on the next bottled water sale. Around here, the price of a home is cheap. The price of trust? Still pending. In 2024, Flint, Michigan's median home price stands at $64,600, less than the cost of a new pickup truck. This countdown has shown that affordable homes exist across the Midwest and Rust Belt, often for less than half the national median price. But official census data and housing reports confirm that lower prices usually come with higher trade-offs. Job scarcity, strained public services, and, in cases like Flint, ongoing water safety concerns. While cities like Detroit have replaced over 19,000 vacant lots with side lot programs, and Flint replaced 11,000 lead pipes, its economic and infrastructure challenges remain unresolved. Some files, such as future environmental risk assessments, are not yet public. What's clear is that choosing these bargain-priced towns means weighing documented savings against real, ongoing costs. For many, the promise of owning a home without a lifetime mortgage is real, but so are the sacrifices required. The evidence shows, in America's cheapest towns, price is only the beginning of the story.